Welcome back to the garage, all the Z boys out there, everybody that's got a Z31 and, you know, looking for info and all that fun stuff. Today I'm going to be putting my front wheel assembly back together. Getting my tie rods. I need new tie rods here going to my power steering. I kind of mushroomed out the head of it trying to get it unseated from my knuckle when I was removing the subframe. That isn't a huge deal though. You can find these on Apex Engineering, I believe, or Godzilla Raceworks. Either of those, and I'll actually leave a link in the description of the video showing where I've kind of found some parts for Z31s. And they have some good stuff. Godzilla Raceworks, they do more like internal stuff, clutch, more motor than anything. They do some exhaust for these cars, nothing really super useful. I do need to get a new bushing kit for my torque arm. It's old. All the bushings are original, calipers are original. It just needed some love. Really, I just took it all apart to repaint it, address some of the issues here. This is minor compared to what was going on in the engine bay. But yeah, we're gonna put everything back together, and I'll kind of show you the original knuckle for your coilovers. So this is the original shock tower that the original struts were sitting on, and what you do is you actually remove your spring and your shock from the actual tower, then you unthread the whole assembly, and then you thread in your Ceika coilover into the actual tube here, and then you'll weld it to here. And actually I have that wrong. So Ceika supplies this tube with your coilovers, and then you actually have to pull or cut the brake caliper line bracket here off, and then you just tack it into place. Doesn't take a lot, just 3 little tacks, but you weld that tube to your original knuckle here, which you do have to cut the original struts off, and you leave like 3 to 4 inches here. I shouldn't say 3 to 4, I think I left like 2 to 3, just so this sleeve fits over it and it butts up. You do have to make sure it's square with your knuckle, otherwise your alignment isn't exactly perfect. Your tower would be kind of tilted one way or another, and then it just, you know, sits where the original did, and it just sits right on top of your pivot right here. So pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy. But yeah, that's what my project today is going to be, putting all this stuff back together and just getting it to the point where I can put it back down on the ground with wheels on. Obviously motor's still out, she's chilling over there. I still need to get that hot dipped, and then if I have time this video, I'll probably take this guy and just clean up my corners here, because this was a quick project one day. I just kind of threw it together for some extra rear support. Probably Scotch-Brite it, clear coat it so it doesn't rust anymore. It got some moisture on it a while ago. Clean up all the berries and stuff, just make it look nice again. I don't think the welds really need to be readdressed, and then I could probably Scotch-Brite the bottom of this, make it look as pretty as the rest of the bar is. And I did make that myself. I was just bored one day and was like, well, I can just make it myself. Oops. Make it myself without having to pay like 200 bucks for a strut bar. And I'm pretty sure it isn't adjustable. It just sits on the rear coil top hats. I punched the whole layout myself, drilled the holes, and then just made sure it fit up and welded it in place. But yeah, that's the basis of it. And because that rear strut is out, my coils are just hanging, so the rear assembly back here is just kind of chilling a little low, which is fine. I'm not worried about it. Ain't gonna hurt nothing. And you can see my exhaust back there. She's just free floating right now. But yeah, that's the majority of it as of right now. So screw it. I guess we get to work now. There. I'll just give her a couple of uggas and a dugga. Give her that mechanic standard there. And then we'll be doing just good. And then this socket size is a 17 for your knuckle. And since I don't have the tie rods put on right now, I can very easily turn and twist and access. It's a lot easier than, you know, still having them attached and pain in the ass. So fun stuff anyways. And these guys I believe are also a 17. Correct. Sweet. Well, that side's done pretty quick and easy. It's just 2 bolts here on your knuckle and then 2 bolts back here for this arm back here. It's not your torque bar. I don't know. It's your front strut, your front brace going from your actual arm back to the chassis, which is also another bushing I need to replace. I also want to do the Z32 some brake fluid, Z32 caliper change or caliper swap. That way I got some heavier brakes on this thing, and I'd like to do the same thing in the rear. I just don't know if I have the clearance with these wheels. I probably do with the spacers that I'm running, but we'll cross that road whenever we get to it. So now it's just the other side, so let's go over there and do the same thing. Alright, well, passenger side is in. Now I'm just going to slap my coilover bolts on and then tighten these guys up. And then I believe these are, yep, they're also a 17. She might be a little stubborn right now. Need a smack. Need gentle bumps. Just gentle. We're gonna grab the micro hammer here. And just give her some. Yeah. Yeah, like that. I did drop a washer. That's fine. She is lost. She's in oblivion. Oh God. I'm dying. Help me. Come here. Come here, goddammit. Okay. Is that gonna be enough for thread? Just barely. Give it to me. There she is. Yes. Seated. Beautiful. Amazing. Yes. Yes. Nice. Okay, well, yeah. That's pretty quick and easy. Allegedly. Yeah. Both sides are in. Feels good. Feels good to actually put shit back together instead of keep taking it apart, but you know. Then also eventually I'm gonna do wheel bearing replacements. I have some replacements sitting in the top of my box. But now, since I got time, I might as well get this thing rounded, cleaned up, sorted out, put it back on the rear, and get everything lifted back up into place back there. I was gonna pull the rear subframe and the rear diff and repaint all that, but I don't think that's gonna be necessary yet. We're just gonna let it ride for now. So yeah, let's attack this thing next. Well, there she is. Nice and cleaned up, rounded edges, no sharp nothing that's gonna scratch the paint inside anymore, I should say. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna wait to clear coat it, just get it installed so it's somewhere dry where humidity isn't gonna be getting to it and rusting it out. But yeah, all cleaned up. I don't have the Scotch-Brite pads to do this circle pattern in here on me right now. I'm gonna have to buy some of those and redo that, because it's just, if you wire wheel this stuff, it's just gonna mess up the pattern. You're better off just waiting and getting some more of the Scotch-Brite pads and just redoing it. I did get a large amount of all the mill scale and nasty stuff off of it, a lot of the berries and stuff, and just the general roughness of it. But yeah, now we'll get her put back in and get our rear put back into place, and we'll be rocking and a rolling, boy. So I just ended up putting the jack underneath the rear axle, or correction, the rear strut that comes off the body, and just lifted basically the whole coil over into place just so I can get the studs through and then get the nuts on it. Then I'm gonna do the same thing over here, and that's actually pretty good fit. Actually looks pretty decent. I like it. So yeah, we'll just do same thing over here. Let this sucker down. Bring the jack over to this side and just rinse and repeat. Come on. If I can sneak it under there. Oh yeah. Can we barely get it? I don't know if I trust that. That wasn't a lot of bite. All right, let's try again. There we go. Plenty of bite there. Gotta make sure not to scratch the inner barrel. And then you kind of gotta wean it over here so you can get into the wheel well and kind of just guide it back up into place. You can see kind of where it just fell down, but yeah, we'll get this done and then get her torqued down and it should be good to go. Oh, what did you just look at that? Perfect fit. It's almost like I designed it like that. Pretty simple. Just get everything back in. Put our bolts on. Oh, if you can actually thread them, unlike my dumbass. And voila. Strut bars back in, baby. Now we just give her some ugga-duggas again, and look at that, we got all of our coils back in. Finally. I've been neglecting to do a lot of this stuff for a while now, but that is not the correct size. But anyway, it's kind of nice just being able to have a little bit done rather than like nothing done. Pretty sure that's a 16, be my guess. Come on, come on, yeah. Get on there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Now we come back over here. And we grab ugga-dugga. Did I guess the right side? No, that's 14. Man. Try again, stupid. 14? 14. Or is it gonna be something stupid Probably gonna be something stupid. Oh, I was wrong. Come on, let go. Let go. There we go. Gotta make sure they're all good and snug. But yeah, this thing is rigid. Very, very rigid. It's more rigid than you could get probably out of an adjustable one or one that you would buy, because the ones that you buy they're pretty thin. They're like round, but in my personal opinion, square is way, way stronger, especially from a structural point. Just because of that box material can do a lot for you. And granted, I only have it welded on a little bit of the actual plate, but that's 1/4 inch plate, 1/8 inch thick box, and then over here I just cut a little 45 out, bent that tab down and welded it in. But yeah, all looks pretty good. And then you can see I got, you know, dash is kind of apart right now. I did take a decent amount of some of the HVAC stuff out just because for now I'm not planning on running it. If by chance that I'm gonna put it back in, I'm just gonna keep all the original parts. That way I'm not having to search for them again, because I know how hard it is to find parts for these cars. So I'm gonna keep all that stuff on stock just in case I ever want to put it back in. But until I get rewiring done and kind of eliminate some of the systems I'm not going to be using anymore, then that'll be nice. Pretty quaint and simple, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Let that guy down. But yeah, that's kind of how the rear sits in comparison to the car. And then the fronts are about the same. They just have the tiniest bit of lip from the outside of the actual fenders. But I always liked how I got this thing set up. Granted, I am running pretty beefy spacers back here, or up here I should say, and back here. I'm just running the same spacers all the way around, and I believe they're 30 millimeter, which is a little thick for my liking, just for high speed stuff. But I did get longer studs for the front because the spacers originally wouldn't fit with the original factory studs. You didn't have nearly enough threads to feel safe on, so keep that in mind. If you are thinking about doing spacers, you're probably going to have to find 5x1 14.3 studs and replace them, reseat them, and then you can put as thick of a spacer as you want on here. I had to do some trial and error with spacers just because of the clearance with calipers, but that's fine. That's why I was talking about earlier. Not sure if I have the clearance for the Z32 calipers, but yeah. I believe that wraps up episode 2, guys. So if you want to see more, just keep following along. I'm going to be doing a lot more with this car, a lot more stuff. And like I said in my last video, I don't know everything, so if you guys see something that I'm doing wrong that you are definitely questioning my sanity on, by all means, let me know. I'll take it into consideration, and I'll do some more research into whatever it is that I don't know about, and just slowly work my way into it. It's I know these cars have a lot to them. They're not just some standardized American V8 where you just throw a carburetor on and adjust it. There's a lot more electronics in these than most, and there's a lot of wiring and a lot of vacuum. Anybody that's torn one of these apart, they know there's a lot of vacuum lines on these cars. But yeah, that wraps up the coil over reinstall and our strut bar install. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you guys in the next episode of Backyard Garage, and hopefully you continue following along to see all the new fun stuff that I keep doing to her. So thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video.